Pastor Tim again, coming to you from Bend and Lomita United Methodist Churches. We are trying to do the ministry of Jesus Christ in the United Methodist Church, to be faithful to that ministry, to be welcoming and embracing, to embody God's love and God's wisdom and God's strength in our place and time, in small ways and in big ways. We impact the community and the world. We're talking about the temptations of Jesus now. The last time we talked about what they meant for him and his ministry. Today we're going to talk about what the temptations mean for us. No one has ever asked us if we wanted to turn stones into bread. Nobody has ever asked us if we want to rule the world. Nobody's ever asked us to jump off of a tall building so that we'll test God and see if we get hurt. Those are not our temptations, but we have, in many ways, the same temptations that Jesus had. Jesus was invited to turn stones into bread to satisfy his own needs, and we're always tempted to satisfy our own needs, to look for comfort, to look for security, to look for power, to look for to satisfy our appetites. Whatever appetites those are, and there are a variety of them, to feel good about ourselves, to make ourselves the center of attention. And that would be to take a lesser route than what God invites us to. We do need to eat, we do need to rest, we do need to sometimes take care of ourselves, but we can't make that the center of our ministry, or center of our world. Because if we do that, we exclude other people and we exclude God. It's about dependence upon God, and it's about sharing with other folks that which we have, sharing not only physically but spiritually. You can't make that our appetites for whatever they are, as important as they are at times, we can't make that the center of our ministry. Jesus was tempted to take charge of the world and create another kingdom. We're not tempted to that, but we are tempted to control the parts of the world that we can control. We're tempted to try to control people. We're trying to control families. We try to control our environment. And sometimes you need to do that. You need to exert yourself and not be a wilting flower. But if we make that the center, then we're all only self-centered. We can't be about control. We can't about making other people do what we want them to do. That's one reason the Ten Commandments will never work on the wall, because they don't get to the heart of a person. They try to make them behave on the outside, but not to the heart. Jesus is about getting to the heart. So we have to give up control to God and say God's in charge, and that we're going to do what God asks us to do. So that's our temptation, and our answer to that is to let God take charge, let God be the one who dictates what we do and what we say and where we go. The third temptation was the miraculous. Nobody asked us to do miraculous things, but we do like to be admired. We like to have honors. We like to have other people have gratitude, express that gratitude to us, to lift us up and say how wonderful we are. But if you make that, sometimes our egos need that to affirm who we are. But if we make that the center, then we miss out. We become self-centered. We lose out on that which, on being oriented towards other people and the ministry of Jesus Christ. So you can't do that and follow Jesus. His temptation, like ours, was to be admired, to be lifted up, but we can't do that. We have to lift up God, and we have to lift up other people. So that's why the temptations are not like ours, but they are like ours. In some small way, we are tempted to pick something less than God to devote our lives to. If we do that, we may live significant lives, but not important lives. To be important in the kingdom of God is to do the will of God. So we submit to God, who God says we are, and what God says we are to do. And that's what makes an eternal difference. So I'll see you next time as we talk about the temptations for the church.